Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing? What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Welcome into a new edition of Titans and Truth. And we're going to have a very good episode this evening. A little quick episode tonight as I get ready for Game 5 of the Grizzlies Jazz series that's going to be in Utah. I'll be at the watch party tonight. So, I'll actually be there in just a little while to watch that game and hopefully watch the Grizzlies win and bring it back to Memphis for another game, for Game 6. But in the meantime, just going to give my thoughts a little bit on this particular situation. And that is Julio Jones, the man on the screen that you see him right now. And there are some reports out there that the Titans are is the favorite to land him. And I mean, that is something that, could be, this could be really big for this football team and for this fan base, because it just means that, the Tennessee Titans land a megastar and a future Hall of Famer. Now, I know we've went this way before with Jadeveon Clowney and it didn't work, but this, I think, has a real possibility of happening. And I think that as much as I wanted to not believe it, and as much as I wanted to say no, this could happen. And I think if it does, I might be eating my words. And I said this on Titan Upload show. I said this on Mr. Titan show. I wasn't really the biggest believer that this could happen. And right now, of course, we're just waiting on some things to go down. And, you've seen the tweets from, Mike Florio saying that, he's hearing that the Tennessee Titans, could be the team to land them. So, for example, give me just a minute. I'm going to try to see if I can pull up the clips. I'm going to pull up the clips about this situation, and that, Diana Rossini has already said, well, the Titans are a long shot. Let's see.
It would allow teams to trade players at a reduced cap charge if the player has multiple years and multiple years of dead money left that would accelerate into this year. As of tomorrow, no acceleration. You just take the cap charge we're going to take anyway this year for whatever signing bonus money or other prorated money already was paid. So it's an inducement to engage in trades as of June 2. And for 5 weeks now, we've been monitoring the possibility that Julio Jones will be traded. There still isn't an overwhelming, obvious, this is the team that's going to trade for him, which makes me still think the Patriots are going to come out of nowhere and trade for him. But, we reported over the weekend, Chris, that in league circles, the prevailing thought is the Titans for a second-round pick. That's where Julio Jones is going to go. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. That's just what people believe. But again, you never know when Bill Belichick's going to swoop in out of nowhere and get a deal done that we didn't think he was going to do.
Yeah, this is the...
Now, that was Mike Florio basically saying that in league circles that he's talked to, that it could end up that the Titans are the team that gets them. Is not, set in stone. So everybody don't get your hopes up. Just, you got to be cautiously optimistic. And that's basically what I've always been, is cautiously optimistic in regards to this. And so, that's why I'm not really just full-fledged, oh my God, Julio's coming. I think this could be something. It's looks like it's heading in that direction. But again, I don't want to put my finger on it. Let's see. What's up, Hakeem? What's going on? Titans Torch, what's up with you? Steven, what's going on? We got Zach. I know a lot of fans are going completely nuts and everything. Drumstar saying, sign him already. Well, we got a trade for him. What's up, AC Big? Zach Carpenter said we need him. Jameson says, what's up? Let's see. I agree if it's going to become Tannehill. And yes, that's also come out. And I'm about to play that clip too about this. So Lee said Arthur owes us for messing up the wild card game. Now that is, I don't know if that's really what's going on, but I mean, obviously Arthur is familiar with the Tennessee Titans, know what type of team we are, and you know he might be helping us out. So we're definitely gonna have to see with that. And you know this. Jameson says, I heard in a tweet earlier today, Tennessee Titans are favored to land Julio Jones at plus 200. So I already put money in about the Tennessee Titans winning the AFC before the trade. And I think it was at plus 2,200. So if that ends up happening, I could be making a whole lot of money if that goes in. So I mean, it does look like it's heading that way, but we know that the New England Patriots are still in the mix. So now here's another clip, but this is coming from Kimberly Martin on ESPN. Now, I take it with a grain of salt because he's not Diana Rossini or Adam Schefter, but take a listen to this.
Possible destinations for Julio right now.
As you saw, Diana had mentioned the Titans and Seahawks. I've heard the Titans as well. They're the team that I've most heard people mention that he'll probably end up on the Titans. San Francisco makes a lot of sense, but I know for a fact the Ravens and the Rams are done. They're not in the Julio Jones market right now, so I'm looking at the Titans.
All right, Ravens out, Rams out.
Now, that was ESPN's Kimberly Martin basically saying that from what she's hearing in all circles, it looks like the Titans could be the team that Julio Jones is headed to. Now, I want to skip up to this part. Listen to ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck. Now, for both of you in Nashville, you know that Tim Hasselbeck usually goes on Darren, Donick, and Chase every week and is very much in tune with what's going on with the Tennessee Titans. Take a listen to what Tim Hasselbeck, and this is on ESPN Get Up. Take a look at what Tim Hasselbeck does. You're probably not going to like what he says.
Does that become a Super Bowl team with Julio?
Eleanor steals your heart.
I apologize about that. Y'all give me a second. Hate it when certain things come up.
Better team if he's on it. To be honest, though, Greeny, that one would surprise me. Think about this. Corey Davis, who they drafted, I think he was the 5th overall pick the year he came out. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. He was a free agent. He signs a 3-year, $37 million deal with the Jets. He's like 25 years old. But if you're the Titans, why would you pay 3 years, $37 million, which is what's left on Julio's contract, for a 32, 33-year-old wide receiver? So, to me, I think he would make the Titans better. But the Titans giving up what Atlanta would want to get him when they could have, without giving anything up, just signed Corey Davis. That to me feels like a ship without a rudder if they go that direction. Honestly, it just does. But I do think there are other landing spots for Julio. How about the New England Patriots? I mean,
now, that was ESPN's Tim Hasselbeck basically downing the Titans in saying that he thinks it made no sense for the Titans to go after Julio. Basically saying, well, if y'all want Julio, you should have just re-signed Corey Davis. You should have just re-signed Corey Davis. And he's saying it didn't make any sense. And I'm thinking in my mind, hearing that, I'm thinking, Tim Hasselbeck, you out your damn mind. Come on, man. You know Nashville. You know the Titans. You're trying to tell me that if you got a chance to choose between Corey Davis, who in 4 years never got a 1,000-yard season, never, and had injury issues all 4 years. And on the other side is A.J. Brown, who has already done what Corey Davis couldn't do twice already. Corey Davis never reached 1,000 yards in 4 seasons. A.J. has 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in a row. Had a little over 1,000 his rookie year, and I believe was right at 1,100 yards the second year. And got more catches. And you're telling me we should rather go with that than go with a guy, yes, he's 32 years old, but he's going to be a perennial Pro Bowler, is still healthy, and a pretty much first ballot Hall of Famer who in 10 years has only missed 1,000 yards 3 times out of 10 years. 2 of those years were injury seasons, and the other was his rookie year, and he missed 1,000 yards by 41 yards in his rookie year. So you mean to tell me you would rather have Corey Davis, who is not as productive, over a guy that generally is productive? The guy, except for those 3 years, has had basically 1,200 yards receiving every single year. Now, the touchdowns could be up, but he helps get us into the end zone. So, as much as I'm cautiously optimistic, Julio Jones will be the real deal. He will make everybody's life easier. I mean, and if you think about it, you put Julio Jones on this team. If you try to double him, you're leaving AJ. You double AJ, you leave a Julio. If you got 2 good corners that's matching up on both of them, then you got Josh Reynolds up the slot. And maybe a little bit of Anthony Ferguson. Now, of course, there are some people that thinking that the Titans might try to get Julio and Hayden Hurst. I don't know how realistic that is. But if that were to happen, I mean, sky's the limit. You can go ahead and get rid of Ferguson, and you have Hayden Hurst. You have a starting tight end and a wide receiver. So, I mean, I could see that. But, it depends on what is being given up. That's the main thing. It depends on that. It depends on the compensation. If the compensation works out, then we're good with this move. And I got a tweet that I retweeted out about something that, that was being heard. Now, let's see. Okay. Actually, let me see if I can pull up my Twitter. Let's see if I can pull up my Twitter right now for you and actually read the tweet that I was about to read. And give me a few seconds. But yeah, I mean, we're going to definitely see. Jameson said Hasselbeck is out of his mind with that tape. That's what he thinks. Let's see. CW says Patriots can't have the cap room left. I mean, they signed half the free agents. That's true. And, you know, and here's the thing. CW's right. AJ played hurt pretty much the whole year and still got over 1,000 yards receiving. And Corey couldn't get that. So, I mean, I agree. And, you know, I see a lot of y'all seeing this. Titans prove 100 times better with us than Julio compared to Corey Davis. Not sure what you're meaning by that, but a lot of people think Julio equals Super Bowl. CW saying trade is pretty much done. I've got my source. CW, I want to see what sources those are. But let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can pull my Twitter up. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to pull up my tweet that I retweeted, but it's not letting me get there. Let's see. Trying to see where my retweet is. Give me just a moment. Oh my goodness. It's a trouble you trying to get to your It's a trouble you trying to get to your Twitter page. It doesn't let you do it. Okay, there we go. Now, here it is. I'm going to share my screen with y'all with this tweet that it was from an NFL update. Now, I don't know how legit this is, but this is the tweet that this is from NFL Update, and I think Upload retweeted this as well. It said Falcons Julio Jones will cost the team $7.75 million now in dead money this year if traded today. A source close to the Titans has told me that there have been discussions in reverting Henry and Tannehill's cap number into a signing bonus to free up space. And now this is coming from a NFL Update is a former Falcons insider. So they're basically saying that the Titans are trying to free up money so that they can take care of Julio. So it's looking like it's heading in that direction. But again, I don't want to put the cart before the horse or chickens before they hatch because we don't know. Because somebody out of nowhere might come and try to scoop them up. So we're going to definitely see if this trade does indeed happen. But the way it's looking is all signs are pointing that way. And I wasn't really optimistic that'll happen. And like I said before, if it happens that Julio Jones ends up a Titan, I will happily apologize. I will happily say I was wrong. Titan Upload knows this. Mr. Titan knows this. Ken Moore knows this. I will happily apologize and say I was wrong, without a doubt. And make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share this show. Subscribe to the channels at the bottom because more is on the way. But this begs the question. If Julio Jones is indeed traded here, are the Titans a Super Bowl contender? Leave your comments in, and I'll give you my thoughts in just a bit. But again, it looks like, and Derrick Henry in certain circles have come out and said he's willing to restructure. Roger Saffold has come out publicly and said he's willing to restructure. Now, I don't know about Tannehill. I mean, they could restructure him too. And we'll definitely have to see what happens after the fact with the tight end position. But Does Julio Jones coming to the Titans equal a Super Bowl? That is the question. And make sure you hit that like button. And see, this may help Reynolds even more because he could be the deep threat, run down the slot. He'll get a lot of one-on-one. DeAndre, what's up? Blue Fi. Shout out to my Blue Fi brothers watching. And I mean, I agree. I agree with Zach. If you have Julio and AJ, Josh Reynolds, you cannot put 8 in the box to stop Derrick Henry. You're not going to be able to do that. And then they have a decent offensive line because you'll have Taylor Lewan back from injury. You'll have Saffold, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, who is a very good guard, and Dylan Radunz on the right side. It's a pretty good offensive line. And it's only going to make Derrick Henry's life easier, and it won't have to kill him. So, we're definitely going to find out if this is going to happen or not. Now, there is no timetable as far as when this trade will happen. We don't know if it'll happen within this week. A lot of people are saying that this trade could go very, very fast within the next week. It could get closer to training camp. We will find out. But we're going to see. And if indeed does happen, I will happily apologize. I will apologize and say, you know what? I was wrong and I should have been more optimistic. Mr. Titan, let's see, am I the only one worried about the DC? I think the talent is there. Now, that's Titan Hugo. Now, the offensive defensive coordinators did speak, and we'll talk about that in a second before we do get out of here. Mr. Titan says, I think the trade will drag out. I agree. I think it's going to drag out because they're trying to work out the compensation. Is it going to be a second round pick? Is it going to be a third? Is it going to be a second and Rashaan Evans? You know, what the money is going to be like. We'll have to say. Lee says, I think it'll be done by the end of the weekend. And now, this is why I think the Titans are in an advantageous position. James says the trade is going to happen soon because the Atlanta Falcons are under pressure. They cannot sign any of their draft picks. That's true. And you know Kyle Pitts is going to get a good deal because he was their top first-round draft pick. And CW right. If this trade happens, I will apologize. I will. That is my word. I got to hold myself accountable. So, this is going to be interesting. So, yeah. Right now, the Falcons can't even sign their own draft picks right now because of the salary cap situation that they're in. And it seems like they're sticking with Matt Ryan because they didn't draft a quarterback. So, it looks like they're sticking with him. So, we're definitely going to find that out. But, yes. As Titan Hugo alluded to, the offensive coordinator Todd Downing and defensive coordinator Shane Bowen both spoke to the media today. And, Todd Downing is basically saying, hey, can't wait to get it together. We're trying to install. We're trying to, really build the foundation of the game plan to where it'll be successful. I will say out of the two, I have a little bit more confidence in Todd Downing maybe getting it right this time because he's been in the system for the last few years as opposed to Shane Bowen. Because Shane Bowen, kind of the way he talked earlier, doesn't really inspire confidence. He's like, we're obviously definitely trying to improve. We're going to be looking at some things, trying to look at doing some things differently. And Shane Bowen's got to show it to me. Shane Bowen's got to prove it to me as a defensive coordinator because Vrabel made it seem like, oh, well, it wasn't the coaching that was at fault. It was the players. The players screwed it up. So now you go out, you get Bud Dupree, you get the Nico Autry, you basically redid the entire secondary. You got rid of Kenny Vaccaro, now Monty Hooker's the starter. You got Caleb Farley in the first round with Janoris Jenkins, and now you bring back Christian Fulton, and you also throw in a Kevin Johnson. So your secondary with Fulton, Jenkins, Farley, Hooker, Byard is already better, in my opinion. So now, see, before he put the excuse on the players, the defense has nowhere to go but up. But if the defense doesn't go up, you can't blame the players anymore. It'll be all on Shane Bowen. He's the defensive coordinator. Now, the shining light of all of this is Jim Schwartz being in. And it looked like, according to some of the video with OTAs, he's involved with the defense as well, which I think he is the de facto defensive coordinator in case Shane Bowen screws up, which I think he will. I just don't believe in Shane Bowen. I don't believe in him. Excuse me. And, Facebook saying, Shane, well, let's see. Sin City Titans says this team is better at every position except tight end. True. On Facebook saying Shane kept giving company lines. And Jared on Stillman and Company said they were like, Shane Bowen kind of sounded like a Mike Vrabel puppet. And I agree. He basically was saying everything Mike Vrabel wanted him to say. And I'm not a fan of that. And I forgot about Elijah Molden. I forgot about that. So if you have Farley, Jenkins, Molden, and Fulton, you're already better in my opinion. So, Lawrence Williamson says defense will be top 15. That's really what you want right now. You want to see this defense at least come up to at least the middle of the pack. If you could do that and you have Julio Jones on the other side, we're a serious contender. And other teams are going to be fearful of this team. And Mr. Tyson said, I'll have to apologize too. Because, Ken and Titan Upload are all in for Julio Jones. Me and Mr. Titan was a little, I'm going to wait. Like, wasn't just 100% on board. So, we're definitely going to find that out. And Steven's right. I hope they don't waste it away either. And washing them up. But we'll definitely see about that. And I think Julio, he'll be in ready to go in training camp. So, wow. CW said, man, a third down defense last year aged me 4 years and 4 months. Can't imagine what it did to Vrabel on the sideline. Yeah, I think it made me sick too. Absolutely. But Julio Jones coming here could be a pretty big deal. Again, I'm cautiously optimistic, but it does look like it's trending that way. It looks like our only competition is mainly the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Although I am hearing it looks like Seattle might be more out of it as well because they really don't have a lot of draft capital to give up, to be honest. I don't think they have a first-round pick for a couple of years because of what happened with Jamal Adams. And so you got that. Now the 49ers is interesting, but I don't know if they have the cap space either. to acquire. So I think it's us and the Patriots, and I don't think Atlanta is really going to trade Julio to an NFC team. I just don't see that happening. So a lot of people are saying, yes, Super Bowl. Yes, Super Bowl. I did see some of that. Ty Hugo saying the Julio Jones trade is not going to drag out long because the Falcons want to get those rookies under contract. Plus, the Titans will be pushing them, so any team can't jump in there. I do see that. The Titans have been known to be very aggressive in all of this. That is true. Titan Hugo says, who would you prefer, Corey Davis or Julio? Both are pretty injury prone. Who would have been cheaper? Honestly, I'm going with Julio. Julio is more proven. Corey Davis, not so much. Corey Davis has been injury-riddled his entire career. Julio has been pretty durable most of the time. And if I could pull up Julio's stats, let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can pull up Julio's stats. And because, yes, Julio has had some injuries, but he's played more than Corey Davis. So let's take a look. This is as a Pro Football Reference. I'm going to show y'all this, and we're going to then get ready to wrap up the show because I'm going to get ready to head down for this game. Now, Pro Football Reference has this. I'm going to try to... There we go. Now, Pro Football Reference is showing this. From 2011, look at the stats. 2011 to 2020. Notice his rookie year, 959 yards. Only played 13 games. 11 of, played all 13 games. And this is his rookie year. In 2013, he only played in 5 games. Because of injury, 580 yards. And last year, had 771 yards in 9 games. Which meant he would have gotten over 1,000 yards again if it wasn't for the injury. But look at the rest of the time. 13. In 16 games, played 15. Played 15, 16, 14, 16, 16, 15. And this past year, 9. Where's Julio Jones not played in every game? And let's compare, if I can bring it up, to Corey Davis. Now that's in 10 years. That's 10 years of Julio Jones. Take a look at 4 years of Corey Davis. Corey Davis, not 1,000, hadn't hit 1,000 yards yet. Julio has hit it 7 times in 10 years. Corey Davis never hit 1,000 yards in 4 years. Rookie year, played in 11 games, only started 9. Injury. Played in all 16 games in 18, played in 15 games, started at 11, but ended up coming out in some of those games. And then played 14 games last year. He had injuries too. But you notice, even with 112 targets, couldn't get to 1,000 yards. Had 65 catches. Had 92 targets, 65 catches, 984. That's the most catches he's had in his career, 65. Julio has had a lot of those years over 70, 80, 90 catches, even over 100. So, who would you rather have? Now, yes, Julio has had some wear and tear. But coming here and having a guy like Derrick Henry takes a whole lot of pressure off. And A.J. Brown on the other side. So, we're definitely going to see that. So, we're definitely going to find out. And, it's going to find out if this defense can help this offense too. See, look at that. P Shark of P Sharp from the Let's Tighten Up podcast. With Corey Davis, we still saw 8 in the box. With Julio, putting 8 in the box is not an option. That much is a fact. Sin City says Julio better than Corey. And that is a fact. Lee says, filthy offense. Offenses are going to hate dealing with us if this goes down. Now, Titan Hugo says I'm still worried about the defense, and I can understand that. But I think the defense is going to be a little bit better. The pass rush has improved a little on paper. Secondary's improved on paper, but we're definitely going to see. So, once again, the Titans look like they may be a heavy favorite to get Julio. Now, Brandon Hudson says, do you give up a first-round pick? Part of me says no, but I do understand the fact what Austin and Zach said a few days ago is look at your history, look at J-Rob's history of first-round picks. Haven't exactly panned out. Last year, Caleb Farley is a wait and see. We got to see that, but I think he's at least going to get on the field. Isaiah Wilson stinks. Nothing else needs to be said. Corey Davis and Dory Jackson. Neither one of them are no longer on the team. Jack Conklin was a big mistake. They should have re-signed him. He was probably his most successful first-round pick, but he ends up going to Cleveland. First-round picks haven't exactly lasted very well. So, I wouldn't give up a first-round pick, but it wouldn't shock me if it happens. It wouldn't shock me if it happened. But I think a second-round pick, I'm good with. I would be good with that. So, I would say a second-rounder is the highest I go. I'll sweeten the pot and maybe say a second-rounder in Evans. Maybe that's where I go. But I don't think I would give up a first. Shay Price. I think we got the ladies up in here. Please, guys, on this show as well, make sure you share the show out. Let's get some more ladies on the show because I'm going to be doing a show in the coming weeks. I know Mr. Titan is doing a show for Ladies Appreciation tomorrow. I'm also going to be doing a little something for the ladies. I'm going to be trying to get a few female journalists on the show, talking about how they got to where they are as well. So be on the lookout for that. I definitely like that. But again, make sure y'all, follow. Make sure if you have not subscribed to the show, please subscribe. I know we had like 27, 28 people in here. I know more will be coming. But make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, get on TNT Enforcers on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth and also at TNT Blue Enforcer. Make sure y'all follow those pages because, my bad. Shay, my bad. But we still need to get more ladies on the in the group. So with that, Shay, I apologize, homie. My bad. A lot of Shays I know are females. So forgive me. So, but we do need to I would like to get more ladies in. So y'all spread the word out to the females as these shows go. And we get some more in there. And Shay, appreciate you. I appreciate you. But as we get ready to close this show out again, looks like things are getting better. maybe having some announcements coming up in the coming weeks. Again, I'm working with getting with Teresa Walker, getting her on the show. I'm going to try to see if I can pull off the shocker of a lifetime. I may have a very, very special guest coming on if I can get her. I'm going to try to see if I can get her on the show, and that would be amazing. So, yeah. Y'all make sure y'all smash that button. By tomorrow, I want 75 likes. I want 75 likes. Definitely. There we go, Miss Ernestine. We got some females that be watching the show. So, again, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning into the show. We're going to see if Julio Jones comes. We're going to definitely find out. And so, I'm finna get ready to go cheer the Grizz on to victory in Utah. Hopefully, this is not the last game for the Grizzlies. Hopefully, I get to see Ja Morant go off, because I'm finna put some money on him to get a double-double. And we're gonna see what happens. But if Julio does become a Titan, I will go live that night that the trade does go down, if it does. And Ms. Ernestine, I love you too. I do. I'm actually going to be at a watch party. I won't be able to stream it, but I probably will take some pictures. So, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. AZ, Jazz are going down tonight. We're bringing this back to Memphis for Game 6. So, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans of Truth. I'm, of course, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. I will be seeing y'all soon. Again, be on the lookout for the Titans of Truth merchandise, the shirts. They're going to be coming as well. And so get with me if y'all want those shirts that I showed last week. And I'll help you get that. And I'll be giving you more information. So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see if Julio comes on in. And as always, I'm out of here. And I'm going to tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. I holla.
AFC Championship 2020. 1908. You did it again, man. Can't be the GOAT on the beach. 1908. Tighten up. Man, we get there.
Good night, y'all.